Howdy everyone, Pete Daddy here. Today I wanted to talk about my new favorite formation in FIFA 21. It's one that I think just fits this game perfectly. It allows me to attack, it allows me to defend. It's what I've been using in Division 1 and it's what I'm going to use for the first weekend league. But before we get going, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe down below, all of that fun stuff. But let's just get right to it. Let's go. So the formation that I'm talking about is this one right here. It's the 4-4-2, but the second variation. I have not seen a lot of people talking about this one. I've seen a lot of people talking about the regular 4-4-2, and I've seen a lot of people talking about the 4-2-2. But I think the 4-4-2 second variation has just been amazing. It has really opened up the game for me. It's allowed me to defend, and it also, the difference between that and a 4-2-2, your wide players are cams, so it doesn't seem like they're quite given the width that you need. Seems like the left mid and right mid are more important than ever in this FIFA, so I just like this 4-4-2 second variation. Opens up so much space for me. But let's just get right to these tactics and instructions. So for defensive style, I know it's always controversial, but I still prefer drop back right now. And the main reason is through balls are still really OP. So if you want some players back, to make sure you're able to defend against that. And I also play, I call it like an aggressive drop back, because I'm trying to get better at this, because this year is not a great year to be super aggressive. You know, if you run out with your center back, if you run out or, you know, get crazy with your CDM, get out of position, those through balls will just kill you this year. So I'm getting better myself at not committing as much. If you're not like that, if you don't play super aggressively defensive, I'm sure you can get away with balance and try to just kind of take them out in the midfield instead of absorbing it a little bit more. But this is what works really well for me, and I think this works amazing. And as far as width, normally I have played a 3 width, but I'm finding this year that 4 width seems to work better, and mainly because it seems like your left back and right back just do not get out enough right now, and I'm not sure exactly what's causing that. FIFA 21 plays a lot differently than most earlier FIFAs, so especially on the defensive side of the ball. So, you know, we're still figuring out a lot of this stuff. I'm starting to get pretty good defensively. I've had games where I've been able to keep clean sheets. You know, at the beginning of the game it was maybe like 6-5 all the time, but now I'm starting to get some like 3-0 wins or 4-1, something like that. Kind of able to shut down my opponent a little bit more, so I'm liking that. I do take pride in my defense, so, you know, I do enjoy that. As far as depth goes, I play 3 depth. That seems to be high enough up to where I can still try to be aggressive to get someone out when my opponent is starting to counter me. If I turn the ball over and they're trying to counter me, I'm usually able to get somebody out to where they are transitioning, stop that attack, and then try to win the ball back, or at the very least stop them up. The other thing, like I said, I do play aggressive, so if I take a CDM and try to steal the ball and miss, I still have people back that I can switch to. So that is what I recommend for defensive purposes. For offensive, I've tried out a lot of stuff. I thought for sure I was just going to go long ball or fast build up. I've tested this out a ton. I do like long ball, but I'm still preferring balance with my other instructions. But I do think long ball could be a great tactic if you're trying to come back in a match. I'm liking 5 width. You do need some width this year, and that's one reason I like the 4-4-2, is it just gives you that extra width with that left mid and right mid. When you're talking about cams, they will be wide, you know, your wide cams, your LAM and RAM, but they don't get quite as wide on the pitch as your LM and RM, just to open up that space. For players in the box, I'm liking 4. You still don't want like a lot of people crashing into the box, I don't feel, because you want to have some space to maneuver. Corners and free kicks are on 2, just to prevent any cheap goals, and that's a lot of what you need to think about defensively. Just do not allow cheap goals. You know, I see so many matches I win because either I win the ball in my opponent's final third, or they have a poor turnover. So you just want to have, like, not concede poor goals. Make your opponent do some work for that. Now, let me just show you how I set this up. Right now, I've got Mane and Son as my strikers. And for strikers, you do want some pace there, because, like I said, through balls are very OP this year, so pace definitely helps. But if your paciest players are what you want on your LM and RM. Now, I know I have Quincy Promise out there who's not as pacey. You want a combination. Like, Mane has really good pace and really good shooting. Son has really good pace and really good shooting. So, you know, you want that shooting as well from your strikers. But you also want a pace. Like, you wouldn't want to put, like, I feel like you wouldn't want to put Kevin De Bruyne as your LM or Bruno Fernandes as your RM, because they just don't quite have that pace, I feel, to make those dangerous runs up the wing. They're just not going to danger your opponent. And that's what your LM and RM are there for, making those runs. You know, even if you have someone like Adama Traore, just these speed demons that all they're there for is to run. They're still going to do their job, unlock that space. The reason I like Salah a lot, you know, attack positioning is very important this year. So Salah is making some really nice runs. I think attack positioning is a big deal. We've talked about that from the pitch notes. Then for your CDMs, I'm back. I was saying, you know, you want two really strong defensive CDMs. I'm still saying that, but you do need some attack. You need someone like Raja Nainggolan. What I'm liking about De Jong and Wijnaldum is they have some defensive prowess. Both of them do, but they both are really good passers of the ball. They're both good dribblers because you get them involved a ton. So your CDMs will kind of come up a little bit more, but what I'm liking about the 4-4-2 second variation, since they are CDMs, they seem to track back a little better, to be more available on defense, plus they're there for that transition. So I think that works amazingly well. So let's get to the instructions for my strikers. I only have one change for attacking runs, get in behind. And that's because we want to try to take advantage of these through balls. And I've tried a couple other things, like you can try something like stay forward on them if you really want them to stay up there. But I find sometimes that keeps them a little bit too far forward. And then by the time they're making their run, they're already offside. So I just kind of prefer leaving this on default and then just having that on get in behind. For my LM and RM, I want them both coming back on defense and getting into the box for cross. I have tried as well this with get in behind, but I'm thinking that's where these smarter attack positioning players are. So maybe if you had someone like Daniel James, or maybe if you had someone like Adama Traore, maybe you do want to put this on get in behind, because that's what you really want them to do, is just make runs. Someone like Salah, I think his attack positioning with the Chem style I have is like 97, so that's allowing him to make those smart runs. So I think that works really well for him. For Wijnaldum, he's my more attacking CDM. So I've got him on completely balanced and then cover center. But then Frankie de Jong, I have him on cut passing lanes. I think that's a really OP tactic this year, because that's what I want Frankie de Jong doing. Stay back while attacking, cover center, and then if he sees a passing lane, I want him to dart into that passing lane. It's not the easiest to win the ball back, just like straight win it back this year. So intercepting those passing lanes, someone like Frankie de Jong, who's quick and agile, able to just kind of dart into the passing lane and take it down. Then for my back four, is just stay back while attacking, stay back while attacking. And the reason this formation works so well, in my opinion, is it just allows everybody to be involved, and it gives you that space you need. I've run into some players, I'm running into more and more players who play drop back, and I understand that completely. The through balls are so OP this year, but you need that space. And with this formation, it seems to get everybody forward. So now I've got Salah wide, I've got Promise wide. And with this instruction of get into the box for cross, Salah and Promise this year are making more darting runs into the box. Wijnaldum and Frankie de Jong are presenting themselves. Now, Wijnaldum more because he's not on stay back while attacking. So Wijnaldum almost comes forward and acts more like a cam, so that makes him really dangerous in attack. So this formation is working amazing for me. I highly recommend it. If this is what I'm going to run for the first weekend league, it's really allowed me to just open up my play, dominate and attack, but also still defend. But anyways, boys, this is going to wrap it up for now. Just wanted to share this with you. This is working really, really well. So if you have any questions, please leave me a comment down below. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, all of that fun stuff. But I'll see you guys soon. Bye.